This is the plaintiff, James Mullane. He says he rented the defendant's apartment for 5 years, and because the crazy woman has issues with men, he can't seem to get her to return his security deposit. The insane woman even filed 2 sexual harassment charges against a FedEx driver who was simply trying to deliver a package. Jeez. He's suing for $1,970.70 for security. This is the defendant, Deborah Greco. She says the plaintiff is confused, very confused. He gave her 30 days notice as per the new law in her state, but he agreed in his lease to give her 60 days notice before vacating her premises. She has every right to keep his security because she couldn't re-rent the place given the short notice. As far as her problems with FedEx, it's because he got involved in something he shouldn't have. She's accused of causing all sorts of trouble. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $5,000 for rent and harassment.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
And welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff says the defendant is a man-hater who makes bogus sexual harassment claims against FedEx people and won't return his security. But the defendant says he didn't follow the rules, so tough. It's the case of a very special delivery.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
James Mullane?
Yes.
You are suing your former landlord, Deborah Greco?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am. For $1,970.70. Double your security deposit plus interest because she is, according to you, unlawfully holding your security deposit. You have a counterclaim against him, Miss Greco, for $5,000 for rent, for the amount that you had to settle on lower rent from the new tenant, and the rest of it for harassment to make up for the statutory max. All right. What's going on?
On December 16, 2004, Ms. Greco came to my medical office with 2 real estate agents, and I signed a lease. Lease A is part of the exhibits that have been presented to go into effect on December 18th. In the lease, I was to give a security deposit and first month's rent, which is what the advertised apartment was for. At the signing, she changed her mind and decided she wanted last month's rent as well.
How much was the rent at that time?
$975.
Okay. So you signed the lease.
I did.
The lease is for 1 year. When the year is over, what happens?
When the year is over, I decided to stay for another year, so I signed Lease B. Lease B then goes into effect on January 1st, 2006. I have copies of the lease if you wish to see them.
Let me see your copy.
The Lease B also includes the extensions that went into effect at the expiration of each lease, because we decided that instead of writing a new lease every year on January 1st, we would do lease extension.
All right, so Lease A, there's a 60-day notice requirement. Then we have Lease B, which says that any notice to terminate has to be in accordance with the Act, and defines the Act as Connecticut law. Connecticut law says it's 30 days. Now,
Yes.
when was Lease B going to naturally, of its own expiration, terminate based on the extensions? Your last day would have been December 31st.
December 1st, correct.
All right. So when do you tell her, I'm done, I'm not signing any more leases?
November 22nd.
Okay, so well within the 30 days.
37 days, I believe.
What was her reaction when you told her you were leaving?
She was very upset with me. And she is giving me a very hard time about moving out.
Why? What is she saying?
She's calling.
She's mad about the notice?
She's mad about the notice. She's saying that I'm not being fair to her because I know her financial situation and I shouldn't be just moving out. And she's panicking. She's panicking a lot. So December 29th comes around. It's a Wednesday. I take day off from work. My parents come down. My brother comes down to help me move. We move out. I come back.
Why are you moving out on the 29th? It just the weekend falls right? Or no, actually it's the middle of the week.
Because it's the only day that I can go. I'm a medical doctor. It's the only day I can go off.
You are a what?
I'm a naturopathic physician.
Okay.
I'm a doctor, and it's the only day that I can make my practice schedule work.
Okay.
So we move out.
All right. Now, so in January, do you say to her, where is my security deposit? Did you leave the place clean?
I left the place clean.
Were there any damages?
There's some wear and tear. There's no damage.
Okay. Now, did you take pictures when you left?
Yes, I did.
May I see the pictures?
Of course you can.
So you demand your security deposit. And in fact, you very helpfully tell her how many days she has, and yet, within those 30 days, she never sends you a letter saying anything about it.
Never talks to me, never sends me a letter.
Doesn't respond to your calls.
I didn't call. I didn't do anything. I waited the full 30 days per state law. I fulfill the 30 days.
Ms. Greco, let me hear from you.
Yes.
What's going on here?
What's going on? I'm overwhelmed in life anyway. He's aware of that. We are all, exactly. Mr. Mullane sent me a letter after the 30 days telling me what I should be giving him back.
Oh, I know about that. That's fine.
Oh, okay.
Did you ever send a letter to him?
I did not know I was supposed to answer him.
Do you now know that?
Now I know that.
Okay, it's not a matter of answer. It's a matter of that.
Well, then I got
I'm sorry, did I breathe and give you the impression I was done speaking?
I'm sorry.
It's a matter of that most states have laws that govern when and how a landlord can keep money from a security deposit, and the kind of notice that the landlord has to give the tenant if they intend to keep money from a security deposit. And you happen to come from a state of Connecticut. And in Connecticut, you've got to send the letter within 30 days. Okay. Now, in any event, why are you keeping the money? Why didn't you return the security?
I kept the money because, first of all, the apartment is fine. It's neat. It's not completely clean.
What is your justification that you felt you could keep the money?
He's going by the first lease, and the first lease stipulates in there I need a 60-day notice. Every year, I go to him in October and say, are you staying for January? Because I changed it over the years. I changed it from December 16th to get closer to the end of December. So that's why the extensions.
When you say he's going by the first lease,
well,
are you sure you meant to say that, or are you trying to say that you're trying to go by the first lease?
No, ma'am, because
there's a second lease, right?
There's a second lease.
And what does the second lease say about notice?
The second lease was an addendum to the first lease. It was It was, all right, wait. The Law Depot is where I got the second lease.
The Law Depot lease is not an addendum. That one's another lease.
Right.
And that one says notice will be in accordance with the Act. What did you think the Act meant?
Okay, who takes advantage of who more? Landlords take advantage of tenants more, or tenants take advantage of landlords more?
Well, I'd say landlords, but the landlords do have a lord in their title, so they can really do whatever they want to do unless it's rent control.
Fair enough. Interesting point. What do you think?
Definitely landlords. That's where the term slumlords comes from. So.
Yeah, but they're not all. Anybody think that tenants take advantage more than landlords? Huh?
Absolutely. I think, their tenants will complain about small things that they could probably just clean up or fix themselves. It's their own home.
Let me take a wild guess. Are you a landlord?
I have been. Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Going inside the courtroom.
My intention was that everything was going from that first lease.
That may be your intention,
right.
But that is not what you signed, and that's not what you got in that second lease. That second lease says it'll be in accordance with the Act. The second lease says the Act we're referring to when we say the Act is Connecticut law. Connecticut law says it's 30 days. Okay. So you can't keep the security deposit because of a notice issue. So what other reasons do you have to keep the security deposit?
Well, I decided not to give him the money because I lost rent. January, I had to lower the rent $350.
Okay.
Then
you have somebody else in there now who's paying less money.
I don't have anybody there now.
You don't.
He and my tenant, my former tenant now, she left March 31st, have gone to a point of going to my town housing, to my town, building department, and the other tenants, they started talking.
You are suing him on a counterclaim for $5,000 based on December rent, lowered rent, and I'm going to cover that in a second, and harassment, $2,925 for harassment. Tell me what you say the harassment is.
Well, if you listen to the message, you'll understand. I'm being threatened.
Okay, let's listen to the message.
Good morning, Debbie. This is Jim giving you a call again. Under state law, I have the right to bring criminal charges against you. If I do so, you will be forced in order to pay me $1,000 as part of whatever judgment the judge brings against you for theft.
If the essence of what you're saying is that he threatened a criminal lawsuit against him. Okay,
lawsuit.
He's probably wrong about a criminal. He's not probably wrong. He's definitely wrong about a criminal lawsuit. But in his mind, it's theft. And so, if you're stealing his money, then you ought to be criminally charged. But that is not harassment. Is that what you're talking about? This is after the guy's ringing you I don't know how many times trying to ask for his money back, and you're totally blowing him off. And now here we are, the 30 days passed. You've since learned that a landlord is supposed to do certain things, like keep the money in an interest-bearing account, send a letter on what your grounds are, none of which you did to keep it. So now, I assume you've since learned, what happens now is he's entitled to double the security deposit that you have withheld from him. That's Connecticut law. You have absolutely no reason other than that you're unhappy with circumstances going on right now for you to turn around and keep his money. Yeah, not only does he get his money, but because you didn't do anything you were supposed to do, you now get punished. And it's double the money that he gets back. I find in favor of the plaintiff in the amount of $1,970.70 and ask for your counterclaim against him, 0.
And so the defendant really takes it on the chin here in this verdict. Double damages go to the plaintiff. What's your reaction to this outcome here?
My reaction is I hope that Jim does well.
Oh, that's nice. You weren't too up on the laws here. You're a landlord, and
I'm a landlord. I have a condition, and I allow people to handle things for me.
Oh, I see. All right. So, are you upset or are you okay?
I'm fine.
All right. Okay, good. All right. Head right around the corner right there.
Thank you.
All right. So come on in here. All right. Step on in here. What's your feeling coming out here?
It's fine.
With this verdict.
I'm happy. Hopefully she's learning something.
You knew about the double damages and all that on your own? How'd you
Yeah, because
find
there's a
out about that?
32-page PDF on the Connecticut State law. Went to Connecticut State Banking and looked up the law.
Well, don't tangle with you, huh?
Nope, not at all. My $250,000 Mexico education, you learn how to study stuff.
Okay. All right, Harvey.
Okay, we always talk about going to a lawyer if you have to make a contract. You don't always need to go to a lawyer. Sometimes you can write it out yourself. It's as simple. And a lot of people go to stationery stores to buy these contracts where you fill in the blanks. They work to an extent, but I have to tell you, there's lots of fine print language in these contracts. You got to read them because one sentence in fine print can completely give away your legal rights. So it's very important. You can't just assume that they're fair to everybody, because these contracts need to be read. They can be adjusted. Nothing is set in cement.